Hello and welcome, my dear friends. Welcome to the review of a very beautiful vintage German piece from the 1930s. Probably you know that I bought it recently at the flea market, and this wonderful pen came with this wonderful etui, and I bought it for a very good price. I paid for it 200 lays, so around 40.18 euros or 43.93 US dollars, and it is an amazing piece. Of course, today we are going to talk about the Matador Express 813. Probably if you watch my channel, you know that I already have a review of this model, and this is another version of the Matador Express 813. And I have also a luxury version of the Matador Express. This time no 813 model on it, but you can see the difference. We will compare the three of them, and we will focus on a writing sample with this one in comparison with this one, because you will see they have different gold nibs. Although they are engraved Matador, both of them, they are of a different design. So first, let me focus on the shape of them. So you can see that this part is somehow different from the other model, but let me tell you first how I know they are 813 models. So basically on the cap we have thermically engraved Matador Express on this one, and also on this, let me see, look right over here, Matador Express. And the identifying number you can see here, 813F. And on the other one, this time engraved on this part, we have 813. And this is the rotation of the piston. Both of them seem to be from the same celluloid. And the other difference is this is a simple steel clip engraved Matador and in the shape of a snake, and the other one is gold plated and it has some Art Nouveau theme, a nature theme right over there. Another difference is this Greek band and the two rings over here. And also on the filling mechanism, this thing is a piston filler, and this is also a piston filler but with a blind cap. Another difference between them is the actual size. One of them is slightly longer than the other one, probably with 2 or even 3 millimeters. And another interesting difference between the two models is that on the last model I have this nib, which is a gold two-toned nib, Matador first quality 14 karat 585, and this one is a simple Matador first quality 14 karat 585, but in a single tone of gold. The feeder seems to be the same, and interesting enough, this is compact, is down there, and this seems to be up. But I think that the nib is the same. probably a number 2 nib or a number 3 nib, but not a small nib. This two-tone gold nib reminds me of the models from Mont Blanc from the same period, and probably Matador adopted this nib, because yes, in two tones seems more luxurious than the old simple gold nib. Now, my friends, if you want detail about the Matador model, I will leave a link at the top of the screen, but also at the end of this video. As a comparison between the models, you can see that the luxury model had all celluloid body, so no black parts on it. This is a very, very nice example of the Matador. I will leave this aside because we will focus on the writing sample of those two beautiful, beautiful pens. So, without further delay, I will leave the dimensions of this on the screen, and why not, we will compare with the dimension of the old one in my collection. And now I'm going to do the writing sample, and for the writing sample I will use this Mont Blanc ink. Mont Blanc Royal Blue is almost finished, but I will just dip the pens in ink. I won't fill them full. So let me put the ink here, and now let me change slightly the angle of the camera, my friends, for you to see better the actual writing sample. So I will start with the old one in my collection, and then we will write with the other one. So the old one I will call version 1, and the second one I will call it second version. So as you can see, it posts. I'm going to dip the nib in ink and also the feeder. Now I will remove the excess of the ink, and let's give it a little zoom for you to see better. So the first one is a Matador Express 813. This made in Germany in the 1930s, fitted with a 14 karat 585 gold nib, and judging by the inscription right over here, so I have 813 and F. F stands for a fine nib, so F for a fine nib. Okay, let me place it right over here, and now we will write with, I'm sorry, this is version number 1, so version number 1 of the Matador Express 813. And now I have this one with the beautiful two-tone nib. Unfortunately enough, we have 813, but it's not mentioned the size of the nib. We will judge it by the way it writes. So let me do the dipping. Now I'm removing the excess of the ink, and now I'm going to write with it. So I'm putting a zoom. Here we have Matador Express 813, this version number 2. This scratches a little bit. I hope that the tines are okay. So this made also in Germany in the 1930s. It has a 14 karat 585 two-tone gold, two-tone color gold nib. Judging by the way he writes, I think it's a EF or a extra fine one, extra fine. Because I'm with this nib, I will try to see if we have some flexibility to it. And yes, a certain flex we have. So we have a little flex. Now we'll see if we have some line variance. I'm not applying pressure. Now I'm starting to apply pressure and no visible line variance. Let me see how juicy the nib is. It's pretty juicy. It also does the signatures quite nice. And I'm curious to see if we can reverse write with it. Reverse writing. The scratchy feeling is present, so in my point of view, no reverse writing capability. Okay, let me put this aside and let me show you the other one. First, a little zoom like this. Now let me check if we have a flexible nib, and in comparison with the other one that had a little flex, I can't say that this has flex, so no flex to it, no flex. Now let me see if we have some line variance. I'm not applying pressure, I'm starting to apply pressure. So interesting enough, no line variance, but in this this line seems broader than a fine nib, so let me see. No line variance. First of all, no line variance. Let me see how juicy this nib is, and let me give a little zoom. So also a pretty juicy nib. Let me see how it does the signatures. Very nice. And now let me test if we can reverse write with it. Reverse writing. This time this nib doesn't scratch, and in reverse writing it writes like an extra fine, and in normal it writes like a fine. If I am with this nib, let me tell you about the fox. So the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. A pretty good writer, as you can see. Now I'm curious enough to write with the other one, and I will try to match the size of the writing. So the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So my friend, I must tell you, I don't particularly like this nib. I'm not so sure what is wrong with it. It scratches a little bit. I will definitely call it an extra fine one, an extra fine nib. But look at this, my friends. I hope you can see. I think that the tines, I hope that, let me see if I can show you the tines. I think they are slightly misaligned. I hope that this camera can zoom on it. Yes, you probably can see right over there. So it definitely needs some work of a nib master. So let me do the fingernail test, and I hope that you can see. Definitely a flexible nib, but in time the flexible nib has this problem of overlapping the little tines. So not a bad piece, my friends. I certainly love the two-tone colored nib, which reminds me of the Mont Blanc models from that period of time. So this was the review of the Matador Express second version, my friends. And please tell me what you think. What is your favorite one between those two variants of the pants? Probably they were made in different periods during the 1930s. I believe that this one is older, and this one with the two-color nib is newer. Maybe they adapted their nib to the trends of the market, and they stole some more ideas from their competitors at Mont Blanc. But lovely, lovely pants, and this I got it for a steal, my friends. Only 40 euros or 44 US dollars for a beautiful classical German celluloid from the 1930s. I think it's a steal. Although the nib needs a little bit of work, I'm happy to add it to my collection. This was its presentation, its review with the writing sample. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, my friends. I wish you to have a wonderful day wherever you are. And God bless you all, my dear friends. Bye bye.